In this lecture, we're going to start focusing on operator precedence. PHP offers dozens of operators. Best of all, we can use various operators together. However, that can potentially be an issue. If we're not careful, we may receive unexpected results. How does PHP know which operator to use over the other? In the resource section of this lecture, I provide a link to a documentation page called Operator Precedence. On this page, we're presented with a table of operators. Operators listed at the top of the table have higher precedence than operators listed lower on the table. If we have a value with multiple operators, PHP executes the operators according to their precedence. For example, the multiplication and division operators have higher priority than the addition and subtraction operators. In our script, let's clear the contents of the file. In its place, define a variable called a with the following value: 5 plus 2 asterisk 10. In this example, we have three operators, which are the assignment, addition, and multiplication operators. As we know, the multiplication operator has the higher precedence. Therefore, this part of the code is evaluated first. This is followed by the addition operator. If you were to look through the table, the assignment operator is listed at the bottom of the table. It's safe to conclude that the assignment operator gets executed last. Hopefully, things are making sense on how PHP deals with multiple operators. Let's take things a step further. What if we have operators with the same precedence? For example, let's replace the addition operator with the division operator. How does PHP handle these scenarios? It turns out PHP has an answer for us. Back at the table, there's a column called associativity. If operators have the same precedence, PHP executes them in the order specified under this column. For instance, PHP executes these operators from left to right. Therefore, we can safely assume PHP starts with division. After division has been performed, multiplication is performed. In some cases, you may want the opposite to occur. What if we want multiplication to be performed first? In that case, we can wrap this portion of the value with parentheses. Parentheses give us the option to refine the order of operations for all operators. You should consider using parentheses when you aren't getting the desired results. On the other hand, not all operators support associativity. Let's head back to the table. According to the table, comparison operators do not have associativity. If a group of operators don't have associativity, this means they can't be used from within a single value. For example, let's head back to our code. Update the variable's value to the following: 5 less than 2 greater than 8. We can't use the greater than and less than operators within a single expression. PHP would throw an error at us. Keep this in mind when working with these operators. There's one last thing I want to mention about operator precedence. From time to time, PHP offers two operators for performing the same thing. For example, let's set the variable to the following: true and false. In this scenario, I'm using the ampersand characters for the AND operator. As we know, the alternative syntax for the AND operator is the word AND. Both operators allow us to write multiple conditions. However, there is a difference. The difference stems from the operator's precedence. After setting the variable, let's log the variable with the variable dump function. As expected, a false value gets evaluated. Both conditions must be true for a true value to be produced. Since the second value is false, we'll receive false. What do you think would happen if we switched operators? Let's find out. Change the operator to AND. This time, the variable has been set to true. Isn't that strange? Both operators perform the same logical operation. So, why does the variable have a different value? The answer can be found in the table. The AND operator has a lower precedence than the assignment operator. Since that's the case, PHP sets the variable to true before checking the second value. After the variable has been set, PHP throws away the second portion of the expression. This behavior can be a gotcha. To avoid this scenario from occurring, you can always use the original variation of the operator. This variation has a higher precedence than the assignment operator. In most cases, you should avoid the and, or keywords. You should use their other variations, since these operators have higher precedence, therefore guaranteed to run before a value is assigned. For the rest of this course, I'll use variations with higher precedence.